right, it's time, 6 o'clock. It's time to call to order for the regular board meeting. It's Toltec School District 22. And we will start out with the Pledge of Allegiance. Everybody stand, face the flag, and I'll put you on the spot, Caleb, but could you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Denise, could you help us with the pledge?
As an adult and a treasure hunter, I am committed to search for all the talents, skills, and intelligence that exist in all children and youth. I believe all children are capable of success, no exceptions.
One moment of silence, please. All right, everyone have a seat. And Mr. Rogers, if you could help us with the roll call.
I'd be happy to. Mark Lindgren.
Here.
Steve Courtwright.
Here.
Tim Kaysen.
Here.
Bill Doherty.
Here.
James Gray. All present.
Very good. We'll move on to G, the approval of the agenda. Does anybody have anything to say? Then someone will make a motion to approve the agenda.
I move to approve the agenda as presented.
All right. Second?
I'll second.
All right. So we have Steve Courtwright, the second. Tim Case of the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All against? Motion passes. We're moving on to 3, the information discussion items and the superintendent's summary. Dan, take it away. Oh, I'm sorry. I did say 2. 2A, approval of the action consent items. Does anybody want to make a motion?
Motion to approve the action consent.
All right, Mr. Davery made a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All against? Motion passes. Sorry about that. Number 3, information discussion items. Superintendent's summary. A.
Okay, so this is the final week of summer break, and new teachers report for duty on Wednesday, July 7th, continuing teachers report for duty on Wednesday, July 14th, paraprofessionals report for duty on Thursday, July 22nd. On the 14th, all staff will be coming to a welcome back orientation that I like to have every year, and we're going to provide lunch. And then Meet the Teacher is on Thursday, July 22nd from 1 to 6 p.m. And on Monday, July 26th is the first day for students. And we have a District Kids at Hope event. This is very, very exciting. And the founder of the Kids at Hope organization, his name is Rick Miller, and he's always said, you guys have a special place in our heart. You met him at the one.
Yes, I did.
Yes, and at the law conference. And so he is working with us, and we're going to be able to have David and Danny Diaz, the brothers who, along with their family, who inspired the Disney film McFarlane USA. And the screening of the film is going to be the evening of July 15th, and then an all-day training on July 16th. The Diaz brothers will be with us on the evening of the 15th and then the morning of the 16th. Summer school began on June 7th, and it continues this week until Wednesday. And Penny Haynes is doing an outstanding job as summer school lead, and she had a little statement about how things are going. And one of the things that she mentioned was that Kaylee Lindgren, who is, she wanted to recognize her as a student with the hard work and willingness to help when assistance is needed. And so I keep hearing from everybody that Kaylee has saved summer school, that she has been just an outstanding help. And so Kaylee, if you could come up, I'd like to present you with something for your outstanding work with summer school. And we've never had an assistant until this year. And so you're the first, and I think it's gonna probably be something we'll need to continue. So if you're not doing anything next summer and you wanna come back, you're welcome. Okay, so open that up and show everybody what you have there. Well, the shirt, please. So it says Toltec District 2021 Summer School Administration Assistant Champion, and it has her name on the back. So this is 2 and 2. And she is Mark's daughter, and that has nothing to do with why we recognize her. She's just outstanding, and you are a champion. Thank you for all of your help.
Way to go, kiddo.
And the big summer project for the district this summer is the old flooring being removed, and the new flooring being put down. If you have not seen it, you need to get over to TES to see it. And Mrs. Ferguson has been project manager and has accomplished what was thought to be impossible. So thank you, Mrs. Ferguson. You're welcome.
Very good. Okay, so I guess we move on to B, Director of the Finance Report.
Okay, so you had your budget report in front of you for up to the end of May. And you can see that as of the time of this report, we had approximately $167,389 in budget capacity. And we're nearing the end of the year, which means our purchase orders that we put out for things that we estimate what they're going to be, but sometimes they move a little bit, will be starting to clear out. We are expecting to have about $200,000 in carryover when we start closing out some of those purchase orders for the rest of the year. So that's going to be a good thing for us for this next fiscal year as we roll that over into the next fiscal year. You then also have the grants report in front of you, and one of the biggest things is that the SFB has approved the bid packet for the C&D roofs. And so we will be issuing that bid packet out on July 6th, and hopefully get it out and get bids back within a couple weeks from that, and then we will be moving forward on that. Don't know the date that we'll be able to get that project done. We will have to work around school, and we'll have to work around when the SFB approves the bids, but that is a big thing that we have going on. And we will be getting the bid packet to the SFB to be reviewed for the doors right away. We're basically taking that same bid packet and transmitting it over or changing it over. And then other than that, everything else has stayed pretty much the same things that you've seen before. The ESSER grants are coming along, and we're utilizing them to the best of our ability for the schools. If you guys have any questions, I'd be willing to answer any questions you may have.
I think it's pretty straightforward. With that, so if anybody has anything to say, we're just going to move right on to C, recognition of security and safety volunteers.
We're gonna ask Major Ron Yorndorf to come up, please.
Ron, you don't have to major.
Yeah, Major.
Oh, great. Thank you.
So we want to honor you for your support. You have helped a lot with safety, and we appreciate it. Look at the camera,
Oh, sure. Got it.
and I want to thank you
Well, you're welcome.
so much.
Try to do a little bit more this coming year. So
Oh, well,
keep the honors at home, please. Okay?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Here you go.
Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Sergeant Howard Stevers. These are members of the Canal Company Arizona Rangers who have helped so much with our school safety. And we want to honor you for all of your volunteer work.
Thank you very much.
You're so welcome.
Howard.
Thank
You get a picture of both of them?
you so much.
Hey, can we get a, or
Oh,
Mrs.
here we
Rogers?
go.
Can we get a picture with both of them with you?
One moment, we got one
We're
moment.
not doing you.
We're almost there. Lieutenant Alan Rogers, come up, please.
It's in your official capacity, sir. No more calling her baby, Gordon.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you for all his red.
He's red, look at that cute.
You had no idea.
Yeah. Can we get a
Now,
picture
can
with,
you
come on,
two
guys.
come up and join us?
Well, you might be a lieutenant, she's a general.
Yeah. Trust me.
Field marshal, 4-star.
Let me get on the other side, come on.
Okay. All right.
That good, Nora?
It is perfect.
You sure?
I am. Got it. Thank you.
Good job, guys.
You didn't think you were getting off that easy.
Thank you for your time, gentlemen.
All right. We're going to, moving on to D. 21-22, reopening in-person instruction and distance learning plan public hearing.
So we welcome back any feedback on our plan. And one of the main differences is that, it's here on the first page, universal and correct wearing a mask. First of all, I want to say that this plan is, the outline is constructed by the Arizona Department of Education. So I just want to say on January 19, 2021, there were 933 COVID-19 cases in Pinal County. And on June 22nd, there were 21 cases of COVID in Pinal County. So we're moving in the right direction. So due to the enormous improvement in the number of cases, when school reopens, then face coverings will not be required when a physical distance of at least 3 feet can be maintained. Face coverings will be required when being transported on the school bus or van. And so they'll be required when you can't maintain that distance, and you cannot maintain that distance in our public transportation. So public school transportation and face coverings, of course, can be worn at all times if someone chooses to do that. And then the above expectations, we'll reevaluate them as I continued collaboration with Pinal County Health Services should the levels begin to increase. So we're just, I'm not going to insult your intelligence and go through the whole thing for you, but we're doing everything we can to meet the needs of our students and staff also. You know, this presented a lot of challenges the pandemic has, and so this is, we're trying our best to provide support and to try to get all of our students back in school and get them engaged in learning. There's a lot of studies that say that the student demographics such as we have are the ones that are more at risk for not being able to come back to school and to re-engage. And so we do definitely want to get our students back in school as quickly as possible and make it as safe as we can.
All right, any discussion? So we're looking to rebuild this.
We'll be opening under these guidelines.
Yes, so
So are we gonna be able to maintain the 3 feet for the mask wearing? We gotta wear masks all day and I'm so tired of wearing masks everywhere.
So I have to continually revise this. It's going to be required that it's revised every 6 months. And to be honest, I worked all day Friday and Saturday and wrote the plan without any collaboration. So, you know, it might be revised as early as next week. So I will send the plan out to our employees and invite them for, to give any feedback. We will post it on our website and we'll let parents know that it's posted on the website and invite feedback also. All right.
We need feedback.
We do, yes, and we want to know
Right.
what they
We wanna
have to
know what
say.
the teachers think.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Guess we're making a motion on this one.
I have a quick question.
Oh, no, I'm
We're
sorry.
not, it's like that.
That's-
This was information.
That's sorry.
Question is, it says the face coverings will be required when being transported on a school bus or van. What do you do when kids just jump on the bus at their stop and don't have face?
We have them on hand.
Okay, good. See, good, thank you. End of question.
All right, anything else? If not, then we're gonna go to, call the vote. We have,
Not,
then we move on. 5A. 2021-22 preliminary budget.
Okay, so it's an interesting time right now with drafting budget because the state has not adopted a budget as of even today. With 2 days remaining in this fiscal year, they still have not adopted a budget. So we were instructed by the state to put together a budget based upon the funding numbers for this current year, for next year, and then when and if the legislature passes a budget, we will go in and make a revision to the budget that will reflect the new numbers from the state. We propose this budget based on a estimated student enrollment of 948 total students. That is an increase from last year. Last year, we ended up with an average daily membership of 857. However, the previous year, our average daily membership was 965. We do believe that most, if not all, of those students will come back, but we did make just a slight conservative estimate on that, on what the student enrollment would be for the year. So it is based on 948 students and also assuming a $200,000 carryover from this fiscal year to next fiscal year, which puts the budget at $6,229,376. This is preliminary. As soon as the legislature passes the budget, it will be revised and those numbers will change considerably based upon what we know that is in the budget to be passed at the state. Those numbers will change considerably. So we basically need you to pass the preliminary budget because by law we have to have a budget passed at this point in time, even though those numbers will change because of the legislation.
Okay, so we have to pass the budget, but the legislature doesn't.
Yes, so what I'm saying is you guys have to do your job even though they haven't done theirs.
Okay, I was just trying to get something straight.
Sorry to be political, but that's,
more things.
Well, do we have a motion, because it's gotta be that.
I'll motion we pass the
All right, in case we want a motion.
2022 preliminary budget.
Beautiful. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, we have Jim Cason with the motion, and we have Steve Porterwright with a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All against? Motion passes. Moving on to B, the 21-22 sole source vendor.
so these vendors that are presented to you today, most of them are utility vendors that we have to use. We don't really have a choice in. The ones that are not utility vendors are Tyler Technologies, Power School, and Illuminate Education, also the American Express, but that's kind of a separate deal. Those three, it would be unreasonable for us to be able to send those out for multiple quotes and to change those things year to year. So that's why they are before you today as sole source vendors. Tyler Technologies is our accounting system. That is what we use Visions when we assemble all our budget and handle our finances. Power School is the student information system. That is what keeps track of our attendance and the student information. And then Illuminate Education is our district benchmarking, and all of those are very key to how we function as a district and cannot be changed easily, nor is it feasible for us to send it out for multiple quotes. So that's why they are before you today for sole source designation.
So,
Our technology is used by the county, so by data processing, so even if we didn't like the system, we can't do anything about it.
because, yeah, we have to follow through with what the county doing also, so we're not.
Yes.
Yeah. So pretty much we're, yeah. Anybody have any more discussion? I'm pretty sure it's straightforward. So something that passes every year. Does anybody want to make a motion for the 21-22 sole source vendor?
I make a motion to pass the 21-22 sole source vendors list.
Mr. Doug Manadari has made a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right. Mr. Fortright has made a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All against? Motion passes. Here we go on to C, which is the early kindergarten registration.
So it is by policy, the governing board's decision, whether we let a student into school early. And we always require the administration at that site to do an assessment on any child who we bring to you to approve to enter school early. And this is a child that has been determined to be school ready. And so we're asking for your permission to allow this young lady to attend kindergarten this upcoming school year. TES.
Okay, well, my past knowledge of this, I know nothing really about it. It's not, my brain capacity of trying to figure out whether kids ready for school and it wasn't really all that good. And I take my personal experiences, Ms. Huffman has done a good job of this time with some kids that she's had in her early stuff. So I can't say, the only thing I can say is they know better than me do what I do, so
Yeah, I trust her judgment.
yes, I
Plus, if I had a 4-year-old I thought was ready, I'd want him to be.
There are 16 days, yeah.
Yeah, it's not really even that many days. It's not, it's kind of, so, anybody want to make a motion on early kindergarten registration?
I'll motion we approve the early kindergarten.
All right, Mr. Gaten. He has approved, he has made a motion for the early kindergarten registration, and we have a second.
I second it.
All right, we have a second from Mr. Doherty. All in favor, say aye. All against? Motion passes. We're moving on to D, the 21-22 301 performance plan.
The 301 district committee that worked with me for this plan was Therese Davis, TES first grade teacher, Michelle Collins, second and third grade combination teacher, TES, Sabrina Garcia, an ACES math interventionist, Misty Huffman, the TES principal, Troy Jones, the physical education teacher at ACES, and Amanda Kisto, the TES junior high reading teacher, Kimberly Medital, which is the ACES preschool teacher and special education lead, Brittany Payne, which is the ACES first grade teacher, and Karen Prock, which is the math interventionist at TES. And we met on June 1st, and there's 4 components. 50% is the teacher evaluation scores, which is the summative evaluation. 20% is student achievement goals at the individual level. 20%, component 3, 20% is required paperwork for all teachers. And component 4 is an attendance component for professional development and administratively assigned extracurricular events. New component, which is an addition to the 4 components, is a perfect attendance bonus. So teachers who have achieved perfect attendance will be paid $500 at the end of each quarter.
Where did that attendance bonus come from? How's that?
It originated from the governing board, wanting to see if there could be an incentive for teachers to achieve and also to reward those who have already achieved perfect attendance. And so it initially originated here, and I think it was $1,000 a year. So this is a little more, but this is coming out of a different pocket of money.
And we're just trying to keep the teachers here instead of having to farm out. So we're looking at, just trying to have the teachers present.
So it's not so much about perfect attendance, which in the adult world, we don't get rewarded for, as another way to entice them without actually having to.
I wouldn't stand there and lie in their face. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to entice them to be there, be present.
So
I like the word incentivize.
Yeah, yes, incentive, because we don't want them to be here if they're not able to be here. And they do have leave. So this was discussed, and that's why it's rewarded on a quarterly basis. So they don't, if they miss a day early on, they don't continue.
Don't miss them for the whole year.
Yes, yes. And then we do know, research shows that if the teacher's present, learning is enhanced, of course, you know, and just less disruption to the classroom.
And it's voluntary, right? It's saying here.
It's
So
full
they opt in,
participation is voluntary, yes. I don't think we've ever had someone that didn't want to.
No, I don't recall, no.
Yeah, that would be amused with one.
Yeah.
I wish I had mine though.
What we do, it's called keeping your face.
Keep your day. We definitely work for our paycheck there, so anyway. So is there any more discussion? Does anybody want to make one?
I'll motion to approve the 2021-2022 301 performance pay.
All right, Mr. Kason has made a motion, go ahead, second.
I'll second.
Okay. Mr. Courtwright has made a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All against? Motion passes. E, classified employee perfect attendance stipend. Put it in there for a reason.
So we know that when a teacher is present, classroom learning is not negatively impacted, but also when the other employees are present, our schools function more efficiently. And to put it quite bluntly, we had one substitute teacher this quarter when we return to school. We don't have coverage if people are out. And so this is also a quarterly attendance incentive and for classified employees. So classified employees are all teachers that don't have, all employees that do not have certification. So your employees that have a certification are administrators and teachers. So this would be a stipend of, or an incentive of for $150 at the end of each quarter. And it would also help them because there are our hourly employees, our modified school calendar has a 2-week break at the end of each quarter. And so if they were able to achieve perfect attendance, they don't get paid during those 2 weeks. So they were able to kind of help them also during that time where they're not paid for 2 weeks.
Well, I would do this with them. If anybody else has any questions. I think the teachers get it, I think the other employees are a little bit besides I know they don't get paid, so that kind of made it a little easier for me to say, plan sounds like it would be good to put out to you guys and see what you're doing.
We definitely, all employees are valuable.
Absolutely. So we have some discussion, do I have a motion?
But do we accept the classified staff perfect attendance?
Very good, Mr. Courtwright has made a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, Mr. Casey has made a second. All in favor, say aye. All against? Motion passes. We move on to F, emergency certified. Try it again. F, emergency certified corrective action stimulus plan.
We have our emergency certified teachers. There is a teacher shortage in Arizona. And when we have gone to job fairs, we are unsuccessful, generally speaking. The bigger districts are able to pay more, so we come out empty-handed. So we have found that more success in growing our own. And what that looks like is those that are in our community who have been doing a good job as a classified employee, would like to attend school and become a teacher, so we put them into our classrooms. The governing board determined that emergency certified teachers would receive $30,000 a year annually until they were appropriately certified. So we have a neighboring district that some of our emergency certified teachers have gone to work for, Eloy, that are giving them more money. They're putting them on the teacher salary schedule, and they're giving them steps. So we have to be competitive. And so the board has determined this $30,000. So for what I'm presenting to you tonight is that in year one, so this is where if a teacher is on, there's a corrective action plan that all emergency certified teachers are on, and that's called CAP. For the acronym is CAP, Corrective Action Plan. So in year one, they get $500 if they're on target with the CAP. Year two, $1,000. Year three, $1,500. Year four, $2,000. Total stimulus of $5,000. And then when they get their appropriate certification and following the 4-year employment with us, we would put them on the salary schedule at step 5, grade A, which is with your bachelor's degree. And so they would come in, they would be put in there making $35,900. We cannot function without our emergency certified teachers. We don't have daily substitutes to cover our classrooms. They're very important to the success within our schools.
And we've always discussed it. We try to grow from within. It's always our intent is to take the people that we have, grow within, and give them incentive. So if there's does anybody have anything they wish to say in the
I
discussion?
think it's great.
I do too,
Thank you.
because it's very important to have people that have experience in the district.
That's right.
By the time they have their regular certification, they'll hit the ground running.
Yes,
They'll be worth it for them too.
yes, thank you.
All right, absolutely. All right, so I think we're all agreed. Well, does anyone wish to make a motion?
I'll make the motion that we pass the KSD emergency certified corrective action stimulus plan.
All right, we have a motion made by Mr. Dougherty. Do I have a second?
I'll say.
All right, Mr. Courtwright, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All against? Motion passes. We're moving on to the performance evaluation system.
This is just, we have used the strong evaluation system for a few years, and this is just, you're passing it to continue using it. The change that you see here is that they have a component to use for classified evaluator system, so part of the evaluation system. So in the past, it had only been for certified employees. So I believe it would be to our benefit to include our classified employees in this evaluation system since it is a little bit more in depth.
And this is something that I know we can use for.
Yes.
So,
And all of our administrators have been trained on this evaluation system.
Right, they already know. Okay, all right. Any questions?
No, this is just like the same.
This is
It was all year, we're just including classified now. So that's good.
Yes, yes.
Okay, well, I'll motion we approve the strong performance evaluation system.
all right. Tim Kason has made a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right. Mr. Corbett has made a second. All in favor, say aye. All against? Motion passes. Moving on to H, qualified teacher evaluator resolution.
Every year, we have a resolution for our qualified evaluators of our teachers. And this year, it's always our principals and vice principals, and then we have a administrative. We have our special education director for the past 2 years. So the one last year and the new one starting are certified administrators. So they're also on the list as being highly qualified teacher evaluators.
All right, any discussion? Because I see Ryan's on there and he's a bright cookie. So
Yes.
I see he's
I
he's
know
good.
that.
He's definitely a good pick for that honor. I mean, I know he called and Misty and Tracy and stuff. He is a good fit for that, I believe. So, anybody else has anything to say?
The plan is that he's going to evaluate all of the special education teachers. In the past, it's been collaborative, but even me as a vice principal would collaborate with the special education director in the evaluation, but plan is for him to solely take over that this year.
Any other questions? All right, if I have no questions, does anybody make a motion? Well, I'll make a motion for the qualified teacher evaluator resolution. If anybody was second.
I'll second.
All right. Mr. Corbett has made a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All against? It has passed. Aye.
Yeah.
Upslope for employee discipline.
This is just a renewal of our employee discipline subscription. This is an online rubric tool that we use for employee discipline to make sure that we're in alignment with policy, that we're fair, we're consistent, and then Dr. Braswell, who has provided training for the board in the past, also provides ongoing support and training as needed.
And is highly qualified.
Yes, very much so.
Anybody have any questions? You had him, Mr. Broswell?
Yes.
Yeah,
That was great. too.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You guys
We
get
had
to
a
meet,
lot of fun.
you guys get to meet him. It's a joy to.
We'll hunt down and come back.
Yeah, just come back.
For another training, yes.
All right, so, if there is no discussion, would anybody like to make a motion?
I'll motion we approve upslope for the employee discipline.
All right, Mr. Kaysen has made a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Corbett has made a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All against? Motion passes. Moving on to J. 2021 Notice of Employee Code of Conduct and Employee Handbook.
So the notice of employee code of conduct was composed by the governing board during the workshop with Dr. Braswell.
Right.
So the only thing that's changed here is just the names of the board members. And everything else remains the same, so just the date and the names, and then our employee handbook. So these are before you to pass, to approve.
If there's any questions about this, Mr. Kaysen and I, we worked on all this together, so we kind of know what it is. If you guys have questions, please feel free to ask. I believe this was a good idea and it came up, and when we passed it, it made a lot of sense finally after we passed it. There were things that happened in the past and we
Right.
And we should have passed it long before that. And now is not a time to relent on this. We've had too much water on the bridge after this. So far as I know, it's a good idea. And with that, if no one has any questions, I'll make a motion that the 2021 notice employee code of conduct employee handbook continue.
I'll second.
All right, I have a second by Tim Kaysen. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All against? Motion passed. Okay. The 21-22 gift scope and sequence.
This was composed by Nicole Hall, and we need to turn it into the ADE Department, Arizona Department of Education, on or before July 1st in order to be eligible to receive state compensation for educating our gifted students.
Yeah, this kind of came in front of me real quick.
Yeah.
The other day. So, yeah.
So there's a deadline on this, basically.
Yeah, so this is a requirement in order to, so this shows how we would use the monies to support our students that are determined to be gifted, and there's an assessment that makes that determination.
I'll motion to approve the 2021-2022 gifted scope and sequence.
I'll second that.
Mr. Kaysen has made a motion. Mr. Quartermack has made a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All against? Motion passes. L, the 21-22 revised working calendars.
Jim?
Sure, so we found a couple mistakes in the calendars that we needed to bring back to you to revise them. One of the things we do need to do immediately is actually pull the 11-month calendar from this motion. The rest of them are accurate. We found a mistake actually today that will not allow that calendar to go forward. So we'll bring it back to you next month, revised again and corrected. So you have the 10-month, 11, and the 12-month calendars before you to pass.
We've already approved them, and so the revisions are listed there.
Yeah, the major thing was that we missed putting Memorial Day as a paid holiday. So it was something that was supposed to be on there as a paid holiday, and then we missed that. So it was the important thing.
Paid holidays are important.
Yeah, they are. I find them very good.
So we're gonna approve all of these except the 11-month?
Correct.
Yes.
Did you just make a motion?
I will motion to approve the revised work calendar minus the 11-month.
This one. Need a second.
I'll second.
All right, Square made a second. All in favor, say aye. All against? Passes. The revised certified salary schedule.
The only thing that I asked Mr. McCain to add was item 11, was just we didn't have on our teacher schedule the salary that we're paying our emergency certified teachers. So that's the revision that's on.
Yeah, we'd already passed that. What added on to the schedule.
Right.
This is like a technicality.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Because we already passed. It was just,
Yeah.
we just had to add that on because it wasn't on there, even though we passed that too. So, and if anybody has a discussion about that, but if anybody wants to make a motion, 21-22 revised certified salary schedule.
I motion we pass the 21-22.
Very good. Mr. Dowdy has made a motion. We have a second.
I'll second.
All right, Mr. Dowdy. Mr. Corkite has made a second. All in favor, say aye. All against? Motion passes. We move on to the 21-22 extra duty stipends pay schedule.
This does include our daily rates for substitutes also, and it no longer has the special education paperwork stipend because the Ryan Larkin Smith, our incoming special education director, is reorganizing the required paperwork. And so the paperwork inclusion is in the 301 performance pay plan that you've approved, and that's for all teachers.
Any questions? If we have no questions, does anybody want to make a motion? I'll make a motion that the 21-22 extra stipend pay schedule goes into effect.
I'll second.
Okay, Mr. Corrigan has seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All against? Motion passed. Oh, we moved into the district maintenance transportation.
Please stand, Mr. Angel Gutierrez, and I know I don't say your last name correct. I would like for you all to meet Angel.
Aye.
So Angel was hired as the interim maintenance transportation supervisor he began on July 6th. You guys approved him, and the interim was supposed to last till December 31st at the rate of $21 an hour for a 40-hour week. Can this job be done in 40 hours?
No.
Not even with a little dynamite lady helping you, huh? So Mr. Gutierrez has been working very long hours. He's here on weekends, often. And this information in here has been in here before. He was interviewed by me and Mr. Cardenas and Ms. Amato, and then a background check was conducted by Ms. Saras. And what we did was because of the pandemic, things were held up for Angel, so he wasn't able to get his CDL before, and things like that. So what we did was we just extended his work agreement, and it was prorated to reflect continued pay at $21 an hour for 40-hour work weeks. So he's been working in that interim status to continue through the end of the fiscal year, which ends on Wednesday. So he has proven reliability and commitment to the main responsibilities that fall at his feet, being the supervisor over 2 departments. And he's worked, long weeks with no additional pay. And he's learned much, and he says he still has much to learn. And I'll continue to work with Mr. Gutierrez and provide additional support, Mrs. Ferguson's assistance. And so this upcoming year will be more reflective of a traditional year than it has been this past year. So the promotion for Mr. Jose Angel Gutierrez is being recommended from that of interim supervisor to district maintenance transportation director beginning July 1st, 2021 at step 1 on the exempt salary schedule for $50,000 annually. And I'll open it for you if you have any questions for Mr. Gutierrez. I will say thank you for showing up tonight. He has his hands full also. I hear that his mother's house, his water damage, the roof is falling in. And so he's trying to fix that. So him showing up tonight surprised me, and it also shows a little bit of how committed he is to be successful.
Well, by the hours you've been working, because I've discussed this, about the hours that you put in, and you do sound very committed to what you're doing, and I commend you for that. I really do. So I know that this maintenance, I worked in maintenance and done a lot of different things with it, and I know how hard it can get, because surprises always pop up when you work in maintenance. So I myself would like to make the motion for the district maintenance transportation director that we have the annual schedule of $50,000 annually. Does anybody wish to make a second?
I'll second.
All right, Mr. Doherty has made a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All against? Motion passes. Thank you. again.
Mr. Rogers, you have a comment?
I just wanted to thank Angel as well. He works very well with our district. And sometimes we need to work together and make some transportation, so thank you, sir.
Well, I needed to know that beforehand, sir.
Yeah, I raised my hand early, but.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Underway.
I probably covered you. We help each other.
Angel, do you have anything you'd like to say?
I'm not much of a big speaker, but I really am appreciative of this job opportunity that I have. And I just want to let you guys know, I'm gonna continue working hard. I'm not gonna slow down. Maybe the long hours, I'm gonna try to slow down a little bit on that because of different situations. My wife, she was sick and she had some operations, but I'm trying to balance everything out. But I will dedicate myself to improve as much as I could for the school.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
And me, on the other hand, I like to talk all the time, so. So again, thank you again, like I said, I know you're dedicated, I know you're trying to do an excellent job, and I do appreciate the fact that you do work with the other school districts rather well. That does make it easier for all of us, all the way around, and I'm very happy to hear that. Because, being able to work with other people and work with people, it's very demanding, and I know how that is. Believe me, I work with outside contractors, and I know how that works. Sometimes good, sometimes not so good. So again, thank you very much.
And you can be excused. Mr. Terps, thank you for coming tonight.
As we move on to Q, there's 21-22 Vice Principal Extra Duty Stipend.
P,
No, Q.
where you skipped P.
Did I skip P? Oh, District Principal. I'm so sorry. Oh, my eyes are giving us. I've been up since midnight, so I'm getting a little blurry right now. 21-22 District Principal.
I'm recommending that Toltec Elementary School Principal Huffman be promoted to the position of District Principal for the 21-22 school year, beginning July 1st and ending June 30th, 22, at the contracted rate of $90,000. Approval of such will result in, I have spoke with her, and I would like for Arizona City Elementary is lacking in accountability at this point. And so it's very important for me, that accountability piece is very important. So I would like for both campuses to be in alignment with district policy and expectations, and district-wide collaboration and camaraderie. And then staff morality is low, and so we want to build that up. And emergency certified teachers at ACES are extremely discouraged. And so sufficient support and training will result in encouragement and confidence. And the culmination of district-wide unity, that has been my goal since coming in, is interim superintendent and the administration will be pulling together to accomplish all their responsibilities. Professional development will be combined more frequently instead of site-specific, which will give the opportunity to develop relationships across the schools. Kaylee has been in ACES and coming over for summer school at Toltec, and she's just been happy to meet more of the staff, and in that she's benefited from that just as a student. So imagine what the employees can also benefit. Besides the savings to the district, this change will be a benefit in multiple areas, resulting in improved learning environment for our students. I am only asking for 1 year. We need to see how things go, and I also would not want to wear anyone out.
That's what I was gonna say. This is big, a lot of work,
Yes, yes.
But then,
so she's gonna take on that challenge. Yeah.
does anyone want to make a motion?
Does she, as district principal, does she also ACES principal, or?
Yes, that would mean that she's non-principal.
For the whole district.
And she also understands that more time will be required at Arizona City Elementary School for 2 reasons. One, for the things that I've mentioned, and number two, because it's a bigger school, so there are more staff, and more students.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Any other questions? I personally think she's a good pick for that, so. This is, yeah, it's 1 year, so we'll give this a try, see how it works. It's not like it's forever type of thing, so let's,
It'd be hard to find another principal
yeah. this-
right in this short of time.
And I think the,
Race, right?
and I think if they do bring everybody, from both schools kind of together a little bit more, I think that would make it a little more nice. So,
And then the expectations that are already in place at this school will also be put into place at the other school with a little bit of, it's easier because it's already in place. It's just
Transferring
just
up,
putting it
transferring
in for both schools. So.
right, it's just a bigger school, it would be a little more challenging, but I know that she's up to task, so. Anybody have anything else to say?
Well, it actually sounds like a win-win situation. Anytime we can save money within the school district, I think that's a wonderful step. And especially in enticing this principal with more funds for her. The 90,000 is a great step. Because it does save us money to get to bring in a well-qualified principal.
Excellent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Does anyone want to make a motion?
I'll motion to approve the, Ms. Hoffman for the district principal position for 1 year.
Very good. Mr. Casey has made a motion for district principal for 1 year. Do I get a second? All right. Ms. Corcoran, a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All against? Motion passes. Next up, the 21-22 vice principal extra duty stipend.
Vice principals will have added responsibilities during this upcoming school year, and the district principal will need to divide time between the schools as appropriate to the duties and demands within this leadership role. So it's going to be a very busy year for administrators. Providing the vice principals with a stipend of $1,000 at the end of each semester for a total of $2,000 will compensate for some of the extra duties that will be forthcoming. To be eligible for the stipend, the vice principal must have outstanding attendance. If there is a need for an extended absence, the stipend will be prorated accordingly. It is appropriate for vacation time to be taken when school is not in session, such as during scheduled breaks on the calendar as approved by the principal. Satisfactory performance and attendance will result in $1,000 payment to be received in December and $1,000 payment to be received in June. Total stipend $2,000.
I think that's appropriate, because there will be extra duties. They'll have to, that they have to, because over here, like you said, it's already in effect. Should probably have to be, this will probably have to be over here as well, a lot more, so, but since it's already in play here, I'm hoping that that will stay the same way. I don't see any issue change anything. I know a lot of people are here, so. If anyone wants, does anybody else have any questions? If there are no questions, do I have a motion?
I motion that we approve the extra duty stipend for vice principals during the 2021 school year.
Do I have a second?
21.
21-22.
I'll say.
Very good. I have a motion by Mr. Dougherty, I have a second by Mr. Courtright. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All against? Motion passes. Moving on to R, superintendent performance-based pay.
The R late in the school year. If this is supposed to be done before, paid out before June 30th, according to the Arizona Revised Statutes. But the following goals were made for me on December 12, 2018, reapproved on October 9, 2019, and approved again on August 12, 2020. And that was continued effort to improve unity within the district, school letter grade improvements, curriculum updates, we are finished there. Continued effort for financial recovery and budget control. I guess I should say, let me start with the first one, continued effort to improve unity. That has been a huge goal of mine. I think we've made huge strides. We had a governing board member come up to me who's no longer on our board, and she said, I think you accomplished the impossible. I didn't think it was possible, but you know, with God, all things are possible. So we have bridged that gap where we were divided, we are now united. Our school letter grade improvements, a big bulk of that comes from our testing, and there were no testing this past year. Our curriculum updates were done. Continued effort in financial recovery and budget control. Tim has a great handle on that. We did have gone through, he's my third business manager. And I don't know, I think I'm really hard to work for, is that what it is? Anyways, he's doing a great job. What's that?
I said, I'm doing all right. So.
And then continued effort to improve audit findings. We're right there with average on any other district. We went from humongous to average.
To
And
appreciate
then-
finding something new, is that what you're trying to say?
And then continued effort to improve community relations. You can see here tonight, we have volunteers, we have, you know, I think we have, the virus has slowed us down on, you know, we haven't had meetings that I can go to, but we continue to build those community relations and build on what we already have. And continues security and coordination partnerships. You saw tonight that we continue with that. Eloy Police didn't show up. They were probably busy with the call. We'll have them back next meeting. Special education improvements. We've done that. Mrs. Pulver was able to get us in to get us to where we were. The findings that were found were corrected. And then before she left, and then a couple of months ago, and then Mr. Ryan Larkin-Smith will do great in the special education department. He's already been working on things. And then continue effort to recruit appropriately certified teachers. I know this was really important to the board when we first came in. We always have them advertised. It's just there are not. We've been able to hire. Miss Huffman has been able to hire some appropriately certified teachers, but there's not very many out there available. And the teacher shortage continues the gap continues to grow. And the elements were added by you on August 12th in alignment with the Arizona Revised Statute. So I don't think I need to continue. I wanted to go over the goals and then hand it back to you. Oh, I do want to say that in the Arizona Revised Statute, there was another entity that was supposed to perform the surveys, and I thought, oh my goodness. So Ms. Huffman did them for us.
Yes, I see that.
I thank her for that.
Yes. In these, now, I know the goals because I was here with them, and we sat down at the board and made these goals. And they're still pertinent today, many of the goals. I mean, the curriculum, we've gotten there. I think we've gotten the curriculum. But everything else is still on the board. I mean, you know, you can't, because of the COVID, I think a lot of the stuff we took a step almost backwards. And now we have to rebuild again. And so these are the same goals. You just gotta you're not starting from scratch. You've already built a lot and got it going. But I think we've gotta restart again, push the reset button and work on the rest of it. Like I said, the curriculum, we've got a handle on that one. I mean, there's more we can do with the curriculum. Don't get me wrong, I know that, but I mean, that's one that's the one on the back burner. But I think we need to still continue with these same goals.
So tonight you're determining how well I've done with the goals and how much of the, at your discretion, you designate how much of the performance-based pay you will award to me.
Well,
Anybody, go ahead.
I know we had all the goals here, but you know that COVID threw everything out of whack. And I just think she did a tremendous job getting the district through it.
Well, of course, yeah. We as a board, me for that myself, I guess, we as a board, I think we can find no fault in someone who went through this. I mean, all of you guys actually deserve a lot. In this whole thing.
Yeah, everyone. Even NARDA.
Yeah, even NARDA. So, what was it last year?
The highest.
It was, yes. Okay, so we did.
That's what it's been. Since I've been here.
Just making sure.
Do you have anything to say, Mr. Gray?
No,
Anybody have anything to say?
I will, I'll say something. I've known Denise for a long time, and she's always been a very hard worker, very thorough, very professional, and she gets what she intends to do done. So I'm not surprised she's achieved everything she needed to do for that.
And I know every time I come in here, she's here early, she's here late. Yep. Always trying to be a step of everything and a step ahead of everything. And I can see no fault in what you've done, because of the fact that this last year was devastating to everyone. To me, it was horrifying, and you helped me through that, to be honest with you. So I'm in for the full amount, because of how you helped me through it and how you helped me make it easier on me, because I had so many issues, so I'm trying to deal with everything, and so that's just me, because of you're helping me and helping me get through some difficult times. So I appreciate everything that you've done for the school and for myself.
Thank you.
Are we in for the full amount?
Well, that's what I said. We all have to agree on this. Like I said, I know you know Denise, she works so hard.
I do.
She worked very hard. We all, I think, all of us. I'm just saying, because of the difficulties, the things that have happened through here, you brought us through, pretty much made it work. I mean, bringing the plan together and everybody working together, and I think this was so that's why I'm saying I would give you the amount.
I would agree with Paul. I haven't worked with Denise obviously that much or that long, but what I have, I'm very impressed. You have it in control. And that's an important aspect of the job. And you don't run around like a chicken with your head cut off or anything when a crisis occurs. You seem to be able to just adapt it and evaluate it and overcome it, which I think is great.
Appreciate
Anything else? You're quite welcome.
well, on second thought, I would like to add just a little, I think our school district is blessed with the superintendent we have. I think tonight's meeting, easily shows her ability to think as a school, not only from her heart, but her intelligence, her suggestions and thoughts as a district principal over having two separate principals truly shows her dedication to the school district.
Thank you, Mr. Frank.
So with that said, if there's nothing else to say, I'll make a motion that the 21-22 superintendent performance base pay be $5,000 as a performance-based pay because of the amount of work and time and effort she's put in. Does anyone want to make a second?
I'll second the motion.
Everybody made a second. So, but
Thank
But
you.
I'll give it to Mr. Gray because he's
Behind the phone.
on the phone, and I think we gotta give him something. Okay?
Gotta give them at least one.
Who's got at least one, okay? So everybody in favor, say aye. Aye. All against? Motion passes.
I want to thank each and every one of you for your confidence and for your comments. Thank you very much.
And number 6, next meeting date.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Almost feels like it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then in 2 weeks, if everybody's good with that,
What's the date?
Yeah. could we
July.
make it 3 weeks? I'm gonna be on leave from work, much needed leave from work that week.
We can't do 3 weeks because I have to have the preliminary, but have the budget passed before July 15th.
Okay.
So, I mean, we could do later that week. Legit, we can. It has to be out for 10 days, so the earliest we could do it is really the earliest we can do it is the 8th.
Can I attend or say that I would attend on the phone? If we have it on the 12th or 13th, I'll be flying elsewhere. So,
Are you
Well,
gonna
we-
use your own wings, or are you gonna use somebody else's?
what was that?
I said, so the 12th isn't a good date for you.
Well, it's not a great day, but I can do it on the phone. And if that throws anything off, just.
well, no, phone, we're doing it now. I mean, I did it for 2 months in a row.
I did it for a while too.
Yeah, yes, we did. And,
Me and you did.
yes, we did. It was a rough patch, but we still made it through and it worked.
Okay.
Mr. Gray, are you available on Monday, July 12th?
Yes.
Everyone deserves a vacation.
You don't always have to be here. I mean, if you got a vacation, you take a vacation. All it takes is a forum and you do what you need to do.
If I can, I'll be.
All right. Just let us know in advance and work.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So we'll go with that date. And I hope you can attend, but if you don't, have
Thank you.
Available to serve vacation.
yes. When we all have a rough time, that's it. Okay, so I guess we're gonna go to B, the adjournment. Who wants to make a motion to adjourn? Okay, I'll make a motion to adjourn. Who wants to second? Okay. All right, Mr. Corbett made a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All against? Motion passed.
Good meeting.
Thank you.
And you know, David, need your signature